might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Monday, April 8th, 2024. We are moving along this year. Like April just started and we are already 8 days into it. We are a quarter of the way. In 2 days, we'll be a third of the way. We are moving along. This year is going by super, super fast. If you do not know who I am your host of the show and of the channel. I am Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win. So let's go ahead and put that up just in case you don't know. Boom, engineered to win. I was hanging out with my guys, Joe and Trey, over on the Technique Tips channel. Great morning show every Monday. Very awesome stuff. All right. So let me go ahead and put some stuff in the chat as well. Let's go to, lost it. Let's go to, and do me a favor as well. As you come into the show, put in your age, location, and tech area of interest here. And all right, because I am curious to know about you, where you're from, and what tech stuff that you are working in. So let's go with that, right? Because I love to interact with you. I love to hear from you as well. So let's get into our news stories. By the way, we have a great, amazing candid conversation coming out today at noon Eastern time, talking about why I believe you should celebrate every single one of your victories. You do not pass up your victories, because the work that you do, it is absolutely amazing, and you must celebrate yourself. I am hard on you, but I also say I also give you the praise, and I celebrate all of your victories. So you must make sure you do the same, because if you don't do it, who will? Who will? All right, let's get started in our news. Let's put up our timer up. And let's do 5 minutes this morning. All right, let's do it. So, all right, let's start off with our numbers to watch for today. So, the numbers to watch. Inflation will move back into focus this week when the Bureau of Labor Statistics releases the Consumer Price Index for March. This key inflation gauge is expected to rise to an annual rate of 3.4% from 3.2 in February, according to an estimate by the Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland. The level, which has dropped from a post-pandemic peak of 9.1%, compares with an annual 2% targeted by the Federal Reserve. After Friday's strong job reports, more traders are betting the Fed will institute just 1 or 2 rate cuts this year instead of 3 previously expected. So, and we know what I'm going to start doing when we do these shows. Like, so on Wednesday, I want to see if the Bureau of Labor Statistics information is already out, and that way we can review it. And that way we can stay informed with these numbers, because these numbers are very, very important, and they affect our lives. You know, we read some other things, like, and if we look at the things that we spend our time on online, they don't have that much impact on our lives, but this stuff, they affect the money that we make, how we spend, things like that. So we should. I'm going to see if I can incorporate that into our news segment where we actually review this information. All right. So Wednesday, the Bureau of Labor Statistics will release the monthly consumer price index for March, which measures inflation through the price of goods and services. The um, Federal Open Market Committee will release the minutes from its last policy setting meeting held in March. The minutes can potentially provide insight into future monetary policy. Thursday, April 11th, the Bureau of Labor Statistics will release the Producer Price Index for March. The gauge measures the change over time in prices charged by domestic producers for their output. The U.S. Department of Labor will release initial jobless claims from the previous week. The report is a proxy for layoffs, tracks the number of people filing for unemployment benefits. And then Friday, April 12th, the University of Michigan will release its preliminary reading of April's Consumer Sentiment Index, which measures how Americans feel about current and future economic conditions. So that is what we have to look forward to this week. I'm going to see if I can try, because I know we don't have the shows on Thursday and Friday. Maybe next Monday we can review these as we get into the numbers to look for the following Monday. So we'll see. We'll see what we can do about that. But yeah, this is awesome all around. Okay. Next up, let's jump into return to work if boss pays for commute. That's an interesting one. That is an interesting one. All right. So remote workers are willing to return to the office, Business Insider reports, as long as they are compensated for their commutes. A survey done by the staffing platform Ringover shows that an overwhelming 80% of employees would return to office if it didn't cost them. The financial toll isn't small. The vast majority of commuters drive, which cost them about $8,500 in 2023 after accounting for gas, car maintenance, and insurance. That's a good point. I do agree with this. That's up from the national high of $5,000 spent by North Dakotians in 2019. Workers note that they are also going unpaid during their commutes, which averages under a half hour round trip. So I have some thoughts about this. I agree with the numbers here. It's such a tough topic because I always felt that the hour that I'm spending, the 35 minutes to an hour that I'm spending driving to work, I could be actually working, and I'm spending like driving when you're tired in the traffic, and trying to stay awake if you're driving early and stuff like that. It's dangerous, but at the same time, I don't know. It's a tough call. It is a tough call. Because now let's say these employers, they add this $8,500 to your salary. So now you get a pay raise. But I have a feeling that people are still going to complain about it, because for me, it's not the money. Like although it's a lot, but it's more of the time and the like the danger, like just the tiredness of having to do it, especially if it's not like completely necessary for you to be in the office, depending on the type of work that you do. Some jobs you can't help it, but I don't know. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. But like, should they pay for the commute? Technically, they do pay for the commute because it's baked into like the salary. Like that, it's not a consideration. So it just depends. But that's a tough one. I'm curious to know, what do you think about this? Do you think that like if your employer was adding an extra $8,500 to your salary, would you be more willing to go to the office? Would you be more willing to return to the office? That's a good question. That is a good question. All right, let's jump into our next one. Discount chain files for bankruptcy. So discount chain 99-cent stores has filed for bankruptcy, reports Bloomberg. In its Chapter 11 protection filed in Delaware, the retailer listed assets $1 billion to $10 billion with similar liabilities. The move comes days after announcing it would close all 371 locations and shut down operations following more than 4 decades in business. I had never heard of this 99-cent store. Chief Executive Mike Simonek Simoncic, cited significant changes across the retail sector, including the impact of pandemic, rising prices, and shrink or inventory loss to error or theft. The chain has about 14,000 employees and stores in California, Arizona, Nevada, and Texas. Never heard of them. 99 cents only was founded in Los Angeles in 1982 and kept prices under $1 till 2008. Ah, figures. Even Dollar Tree is no longer Dollar Tree, right? They're $1.25 tree. And my wife told me the other day that they have a section where they have like items up to $10. So I haven't been in a Dollar Tree in like a while now, so I had no idea. Let's keep going with our news. All right, $6 billion solar eclipse. So it says from sold out hotels and Airbnbs to flights offering a glimpse from the air, Americans are on the move for the best view of Monday's total solar eclipse. Demand has surged for businesses in the path of totality of the rare event, even as worries about cloudy weather persist in parts of the country. By one estimate, the eclipse could generate $6 billion in economic activity. Brands have launched marketing campaigns and products offering, and wireless providers are girding for a spike in cell phone usage as customers share the moment. Meanwhile, Maine has scored a nearly perfect day to view the phenomenon, according to the National Weather Service. Monday's event is the first total solar eclipse visible from the U.S. since from 2017. There will not be another one visible in the lower 48 states until 2044, per the New York Times. While 154 million Americans watched the 2017 eclipse, over twice that number are in the path of this year's eclipse. I had no idea it was today until I was on the Tech Niche Tips channel this morning. And yeah, so that's interesting. That is totally interesting. Last article for this morning before we wrap it up with the news is employers should try out childcare. Companies and industries with high staff turnover are looking for a childcare as a way to retain staff and reduce absenteeism. The Wall Street Journal reports, as the cost of childcare has risen in recent years, the expense of finding and training replacement workers has also skyrocketed. Like I always tell you guys, hiring is super expensive. Hiring is very expensive. Keep that in mind. In response, employers are offering benefits ranging from subsidized on-site daycare to backup childcare available when the primary provider is not. They've made a difference for companies such as UPS, according to the Journal. Still, about 12% of American workers have access to such programs. Childcare is also expensive. Like some people say, childcare is like the price of another mortgage. So it's a tough one. It is a tough one, I must say. So, anyways, let's get back to here, and that is our news for today. Hopefully, you found that helpful and somewhat entertaining by me, or not, totally not. But we are going to get into our Flutter work as always. And let's see let's see what we got left. All right. So let's put up, what time is it now? Let's put up, we'll go at 25 minutes today. We'll go at 25. I already have everything launched and loaded. So let's go at 25 minutes. And let's get to work. If you haven't done so already, do me a big favor. Go ahead and like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live. And if you need additional one-on-one coaching with me, go over to www.techcoachralph.dev, where I will help you personally level up your technical skills. All right. So let's jump over to the other screen. And make sure you got your coffee or tea. See, I got my Infinity Stone mug. And I got my guy in the building. How was Stock Club last night? I'm technically Tim. How was Stock Club last night? I'm technically Tim says, good morning, coach. Just dropping by to show some love before class. Shout out to you as always.
I appreciate you.
You have a wonderful day at class today. And just my guy Tim is learning cybersecurity. yesterday on the stream. Him and Pluto were talking all this cybersecurity stuff. I'm like, this is awesome. And this is why I love streaming and going live, just so I can see these conversations and seeing how we help each other. Just amazing stuff all around. So shout out to you, Tim. Have a great day in class today. All right, so we have here. So what I did last last week when we got off, I finished this up a little bit. So and I can show you what we have here. So if we go into, and it was mainly fixing the states and passing in the formula. So let's test it together. Let's test it together. Okay. So if we go into here, so let's say you're 500, and so if we clear this out, everything gets reset to 0. Okay. So now let's do another. Let's put another 500,000. And we scroll down, and now we're going to say total hours spent. Let's say we do 10 hours spent. So now our total cost is 570. And we say so let's start here. Let's say we clear this out. So this resets and this resets, but up here does not reset. So that's correct. But let's put another 500 in here. Or no, let's go another 10 in here. And now that we come down over here and we say, so now additional cost is, let's say 1,000. So now the money spent is 1,570.80 cents. But now let's say we clear this field. So it should still keep this 570, right? Let's make sure that's working. Cool, perfect. So we still have the 570 here, still have the 570 here. So let's say we add in the 1,000 again. Okay, so now let's say the money made is 10,000. So it cost us 10 hours of our time, which is 570 if we're making $500,000 a year. And the additional cost of maybe travel expenses, whatever, is $1,000. However, by doing all this, we made $10,000 from this, right? So now we have money made $8,429.20. And if you're still here, Tim, this formula right here is I got it from Anton, right? And if you haven't, like, I don't know how recent you are to his channel, but he had an amazing video, like 2 or 3 years ago, like how to calculate the value of your time. And if you're not familiar with it, I will drop it to you in the Discord. Yeah, like have it here, you know. Very, very, very good video, but gonna go a little slow on this. So I'm not gonna play it or anything, but I'll drop it in the Discord. I will drop it in the Discord because many people might not be familiar with it, but one of my like the most impactful videos, right? Anyways, so we have $10,000 made, and now if we go and we X this out, now we get back to 1,570. Let's X this out. We get back to 570. We X this out. We get back to 0. And now if we go back here and we X this out, we should get back to all zeros. Now, one more test. Let's say we start by adding this, right? So activity cost is 1,000. And money made is 10,000. So money made 9,000. Now, what if we go up in here and we say, well, let's do it in reverse, right? So let's say we go here and we say activity cost, or time spent, let's say 10, right? So it's still going to be, or let's say 20. It's still going to be 0, right? Because there's nothing in here. Now, when we come up in here and we say, let's go with 250K. Oh, see now I think we have a. Oh no. Okay, so it's still right because see, but so it's correct because this is 20 and now it's still 570 because we went from 500,000 to 250. So we doubled this by 2, but we divided this by half. So if we were to, let's just say we went to keep it at 500, and there we go. So now, and everything still works perfectly. Everything still works perfectly. So great stuff. Great stuff. Yeah, so like pretty much all of these clear fields are working as expected. And so let's try it one last time. We get rid of this, and boom, there we go. Perfect. This is perfect. So I'm very, very happy with this. So let's go ahead and look at our Kanban board to see. So we've taken care of the field being too long. Um, we have the outline. We have the X for each, but the reason I'm not moving them to ready for local testing is because we still need to write our widget test. And I might write some of these widget tests on my own and then stream some of them, just so we can keep this moving because I do want to push this to the App Store. I do have to check. I think they give you 90 days, so I might be getting close to those 90 days. So I do want to push that up, the next version of it up. And then we also want to add a clear all button to this, which it might not be necessary to be part of the MVP. I don't know. I have to decide about that. Um, and then I do want to figure out the ads as well before we push it up, our next version. Uh, so this allow video to continue playing as you scroll through might not be the most critical one, and so maybe that doesn't need to be part of the MVP. And an error should display when user tries to enter decimal on the total income. I think we have this though. Let me see. If we go here, I think we have this. Why is that in to do? Oh no, we don't have that. We have it for if it's too long. So let's say we go to billion, 100 million. You get an error here, dismiss. That's what dismiss is gonna be. Let's try that one more time. Okay, so that's good. So okay, we have that. So we took care of that. I wonder. See if we go here. Should limit these fields too. So all right, so that's that part we still need to take care of. Um, so I'm just over here trying these different things out. But yeah, I mean, we'll probably clean some of this up. But I think we're in a good spot. And what I want to focus on is also writing some of these widget tests. And probably I do want to get the test done for these clear buttons. And maybe that clear all button will be pushed to a second release instead of part of the MVP. If you're not familiar, MVP stands for minimum viable product. And we shall see. All right. Let's see. Where are we at now? So let's map up our test. Let's map out our test. Let's see what we have to do. So test currency formatting, enter large amounts on all fields. Okay, so yeah, so I still have a test for this. Enter large amounts on all fields. I would say we would limit the total amount of hours to I mean, how many hours can you spend on something in one go? Maybe we were limited to 999, 9,999 hours, maybe. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. So, let's see. So let's go with So let's map out. So let's do this. The close buttons, right? So or the clear button. So to do test clear button and calculations for annual income field. And we're gonna do to do test clear button and calc for activity cost calculator. And then we're gonna do to do test clear button and calc for additional cost. And then to do clear for, and that's going to be for the profit loss or the money made field. All right, so so this is going to take us like 4 different tests, widget tests, one for each one of these. And so when we add something here and then we click on the clear button, so what we're going to do, we add something, these calculations are made, and then we clear it, and then we should make sure that these reset to 0. That's going to be the test for, and then that's the test that the rest of these are going to follow, right? So let's go here and so we add something here, and we're also going to need a full comprehensive test as well. That if all of these fields are filled out, and you clear a certain part of it, that so like we did earlier, like so when we filled everything out and then we cleared here, that this would reset to 0, and then that this calculation would be good. So just different variations of the test that we'll probably like as we come across it. So many different variations that we have to think about. Yeah. So let's just start off with this one, right? Oh, okay. So we actually have. I don't need this one because we started off with the first one here. So let's start off with this, and let's steal from another one. So we can actually steal this code right here because we're going to need that one. Let's see. That's okay. I see what's going on. So let's do this. Let's go and take one of our first tests, right? And we're gonna go to enter should not have any decimals. Okay. Test the state changes for hourly, minutes, seconds when yearly income. Okay, so this is the one that we want. I'm just gonna copy this one first. We're gonna copy that test and we're gonna bring it down to this test over here. So I mean, this is a copy. This is an exact copy of the test that was up there. So let's just run this to make sure that this is gonna work. It should. And then we're going to go and we're going to click on that X button, and then we should make sure that all of these are reset to 0 afterwards. All right, so our test passed. And now what we're going to do, we're going to say, I don't need this here because that test will be added up there. I'm going to just do the versions. So we know this is working. And now we're going to go here and we're going to say, we need to find this X button. So let's go to, okay, so we're here. This is for total annual income and icon clear. So we would want to say, let's see. So I'm going to use this right here because I want to be able to tap it. I'm just going to copy this little part for a second right here. And then I'll clear out the stuff that I don't need from there. But let's go with now a lot of the stuff that I'm doing is just mainly learning, all right? So pop up error message. So let's say we name, so this is gonna be an, all right, so let's use this as a guide, right? Instead of just copying it over, we're going to say icon button and clear button equals pop up. Where did they get this from? So I wonder if we can add a key to this. Let's see. Icon button. Key. And let's call this key. Let's see. How do we do that again? Key. And we can call this total annual income clear button. You know, very clear, distinctive names. And we have a comma here. And we would say find by key and the key would be this, I presume. Let me see. Find by key. All right, so find. Follow this up here. Find const key like that. And then evaluate dot single dot widget as icon button. Okay. Now, we don't need this one. And we don't need her. So when you say clear, find by or clear, and then we're gonna tap the clear button. Let's see. All right. We got Pluto in the building. Pluto says chilling here. Work starts in 15 minutes. Shout out to you, Pluto. Shout out to you.
Let's get it.
I'm gonna start working in about 30 minutes. I'll start working. Gonna wrap this up in about a few minutes myself, so I can get ready for work and get to it. Like I was doing some amazing work on. Like it was funny. Like Friday, like I was doing some cool stuff that I ended up going to jujitsu late a little bit. I got there on time, but I left. I got ready later than I normally do. And then when I got back home, I was like, oh, I gotta try this out, and I got it to work. So I'm like, ooh, I'm excited to log back into work, so I can test it out some more. All right, so fine. We got a celebrity in the building. My guy Joseph Technique Tip says, keep up the great work. Hey, I am just trying to follow in your footsteps, bro. And I love the show this morning. I love the morning shows. Those are so awesome on Mondays. That's why you know what? I'm gonna start my shows a little later just so I can hang out with Joseph and Trey on Monday morning. So shout out to you guys as always. All right. So as we wrap it up, let's see. So find dot. How would I pass that in there? I want to do the clear button for some reason. But it's telling me that the icon button can be assigned to a finder base element. All right, so I mean, we have a few seconds left, but and then so let's do a little bit of Flutter tap icon button. Let's go over here. Add tap function Flutter widget test. All right. Cannot tap icon button. All right. Let's see what's going on here. It's not the one I want. I want a Stack Overflow. How to get the button widget in Flutter test. Maybe. See, I don't want to have to put it in here like that. I want to. Okay, let's see. So Inkwell, yeah. See, I don't want to have to do it like this because that defeats because I can do it like this, right? So we're gonna have to find a better way at some point to do it. Well, you know, we make it work and then we refactor, right? We make it work and then we refactor. So let's wrap it up by doing this. Let's go and we'll just do it the way that I don't want to do it. here, tap that, and then we're gonna do a pump and settle. And then await tester dot pump and settle. And then we would do making sure that the input field is clear. Making sure the input field is clear. So let's run that real quick. Let's see what we get. I'm curious. Let's see. And the last thing would be so we got an error saying the text form field is not a subtype of icon button in type. Well, let's just leave that one out for now then, because we're not using it yet anyways. So let's run it one more time. I'm just curious if it's actually going to clear the field. Expected this actual here. Maybe it has to pump a little bit more. Anyways, so I mean, we have most of the tests done, and I'll keep playing around with this to maybe I need to pump and settle a little bit more, but I'll keep playing with it. But yeah, let's wrap it up for the day. Like we do have to get to work, and let's go to full screen. Let me answer the chat real quick, and then we will wrap it up. So we have, and I appreciate it. I appreciated Joseph Technique Tips.
I appreciate you.
All right, so Pluto says, how do you not feel computer fatigue? 8 hours work and then practicing outside of work. So the reason, all right, a couple of things. One, the work that like what I do for work, it's very specific to like what I've been doing for a long time, QA, coming up with strategies and stuff like that. And then all the stuff that I do outside of that, it's either coaching or learning, things that I want to learn, things of that nature. So I'm always driven to continue pushing forward, learning, figuring things out. Like just my mindset is like figuring things out. That's like the only thing I care about is figuring things out. So it's just what I want to do. It's not for me. It's not like a job. It's just what makes me happy to do. So then like, and then pairing it with being able to share it and teach it and stuff like that, and hanging out with people who come and watch and ask questions. So that's how I don't really get the fatigue. But the other way is in between that, like so for example, on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, I'll go to jujitsu, and that'll take my mind off of like the computers, and that's like a different algorithm that I'm trying to figure out. And then it's also on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday morning, I'm also going to jujitsu, and I'm so it's just like putting things into right places, using my calendar, and sometimes like even if you're tired and you have things to do, you just have to get those things done. So that's that's just pretty much how I get through it. And then I kind of try to study and work in the same hours. To be honest, I hear you. And the thing is also when like to me when you're working, that is also a great learning opportunity as well. So and it says why use Stack Overflow and not AI GPT? Is it not there or reliable enough yet? Um, I think that it might be reliable enough. I know a lot of people use it, but I like Stack Overflow because I like to read the different I like to see the different ways that people are doing it, the different implementations. And I like to see why because ChatGPT, it's gathering all of that to give you what they think. But I like to actually like go on Reddit. I like to go on Stack Overflow so I can see the reasoning behind why a person would do it a particular way. And another thing is, a lot of times on Stack Overflow, there are other answers that you can actually use. So I'm able to piece together my solution and instead of just using what AI is going to give me. And I don't know. Maybe it might be like an old school thing. I learn more from the research than from just asking AI to give me the answer. And I think that way, it makes me it can make me a little bit more dangerous as well because understanding the why and the how instead of just getting the answer. So I think in tech and software engineering, AI has its place, but I think some people think that it's going to just be the end all be all. And I'm afraid that we lose a lot of critical thinking if we approach it that way. So that's how I see it. My thoughts behind it. And Pluto says it makes sense. I need an out from just sitting around all the time. New area needed. To be honest, kind of burnt out with my town too. I I would say if you're not into like some type of outside activity, I know Mr. Lot. He made a video the other day. Like really, I don't know. Like people need to find his channel. Really cool guy, based in Detroit. But he was talking about he's taking Muay Thai, and then they told him, hey, why don't you try Jiu-Jitsu? And he was like, oh, I don't know why I would need to do that. But then he's like, oh, why not? And like for me, Jiu-Jitsu, like it it is it is how I pull away from the computers and stuff like that, you know. So it's just gotta find something to find like find something to take your mind off of like the studying and the computers, so that when you do come back to it, you can be focused on it and you can go out there and win. At the end of the day, like my mentality is winning. So and we define how we win, but at the end of the day, we still want to win. And lastly, Peter says, yeah, we need to see different approaches, theories, and logic. It's a partially creative aspect to coding too. Yeah, I mean, coding is art. Coding is art. Um, and I'll buy some weights, and once I get a car again, I'll find more. So it's nice, nice, and we'll talk about that too. I'll talk about anything. Anyways, I am going to wrap it up for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much, Pluto. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Joseph. Technique Tips. Go check out the Technique Tips channel. Amazing content creator, especially if you guys are in the tech sales field. And we can go from there. But I'm gonna wrap it up again. Thank you guys so much. Remember, we have candid conversations coming out at noon today, talking about why I believe you should celebrate every single victory that you get. Okay. And we'll go from there. Tomorrow night, we're going to be going live with our Q&A session. Looking forward to seeing you there. But on that note, I am going to wrap it up. Please, on your way out, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time that we go live. But with that being said, this is Tech Coach Ralph, and we are out.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts. Are you ready to break through into the IT field? You need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again. Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive mind with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.